Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today I'm going to talk about anger and its management with you. I'm sure you have read, if it attracts you, the word anger management. I'm sure you have dabbled with it yourself, or you know a loved one who has anger management issues, and you might be wondering how to go about working towards getting a grip over this particular emotion. Before we move on to anger management, let's look at what anger is. It's usually characterized by antagonism towards someone or something. You feel that that thing or that someone has deliberately wronged you, and anger as a result comes out as a reaction. Now, anger can be a good thing also. It can motivate you enough to solve a problem. But excessive anger invariably tends to have a problematic effect in our lives. Now we will look into what causes anger in us, excessive anger in us. Now, if I'm to talk about causes of anger, I realize that I have to again break it out into two parts. Something that is apparent, that is the trigger part of it. What triggers our anger and what lies beneath that. Triggers could be things like stress, family problems, abuse, poor social skills, family situations, financial issues, genetics. So these are all apparent reasons. But underneath them are three factors that we need to understand deeply in order to understand where our anger is coming from. The first one is our ego. Yes, we like to believe that mostly, if not always, we are right and the other is wrong. That is stemming from an ego state where we believe that I am right and the whole world is wrong. And whenever that belief is challenged, the result is anger. So a need to be right all the time can create anger management issues within us. The next underlying issue when it comes to anger is our frustration. Frustration plays, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my notes a little because I don't want to miss out on any of these important points. So, lack of acceptance is what creates this frustration. We want things to be in a certain way, and when it is not, we find it very difficult to accept it otherwise. So that causes us to believe that this world is not fair, or things are not the way it should be or it is supposed to be, and it creates a feeling of discontent, dissatisfaction, and results in frustration. And obviously the reaction or the spillover is a lot of angry outburst. The third underlying cause of anger is fear. When we fear something, then we start feeling insecure. Our insecurity gives rise to feelings of unsettlement, and when we are unsettled, anger can be a very obvious reaction. So these are the three underlying reasons, and manifestations could be a lot of behavioral symptoms which we see otherwise. Now we'll move on to what are the different types of anger. Anger is just not of one type where someone's angry and one screaming, shouting, or blasting off. There are different kinds of anger. The first one is chronic anger. Why do we call this chronic anger? Is because this person can be so angry over such a long time that sometimes it can lead to other diseases, and this person's anger can cause a lot of other chronic ailments. It could be mental ailments, it could be physiological ailments. So that is categorized as chronic anger. The next one is passive anger, where you don't see the person screaming, shouting, or vocalizing or verbalizing the anger or being physically violent, but there is a simmering anger. You know that this person is just angry and this person is not to be touched with a barge pole. So this is passive anger, which which does not always show. You can never really understand, but I'm sure you've come across such people who keep you guessing whether this person is actually going to say something or is going to just keep it within, is holding something within. So that's the passive anger. Then is overwhelmed anger. People who feel that they are just so overwhelmed with life's demands, and they feel that they are just unable to cope. That is your overwhelmed anger. This anger usually lasts momentarily. This anger usually lasts from time to time and even dissipates without much of a harmful effect. Then the next category of anger is self-inflicted anger. There are some people who get so angry that they harm themselves. They start beating themselves up. They cause a lot of harm to themselves. They cause a lot of guilt onto themselves. So this is self-inflicted anger. Then is judgmental anger. Anger which leads to a lot of judgments about self and about others. A lot of these self-loathing that we do, that I am so disgusting, I am so and so, all those bad words which I don't even want to take at this point. So that is your judgmental anger. The next one is volatile anger, which is so spontaneous, which is so unpredictable. This bout of anger can just erupt and explode at any time. So these are your various types of anger. Signs to watch out for in yourself or your loved ones. Punching objects like doors just to release that tension. Reacting quickly and violently to very small problems. Immediately, whenever the person's faced with a problem, the reaction is that of, oh my God, the world is going to collapse. And what am I going to do with it? Accusing others. Whenever there's a problem, trying to find someone to dump the blame on is another very important sign that we need to watch out for. These are all signs which are built up to our anger. Finding it difficult to calm the feeling of anger. Finding it very difficult to just check that anger. We all feel angry. It's a very natural response. There's some people who are able to check it at an early onset, and there are some people who just aren't able to hold on to it. So that is something that we need to check in ourselves or a loved one. Then breaking objects during an argument, throwing things, breaking things, just going out of control. Then consistently having the same argument. There are some people who get stuck in repetitive argument about the same thing, and the feeling of anger or aggression grows from time to time. Things that could be taken in the spirit earlier gradually starts upsetting this person so much that now, over a period of time, because the conversation of argument is the same, this person blows the fuse much earlier. Then feeling frustrated with your own action. Once you have been angry, once you have let your steam off, you start feeling very frustrated that why did I let myself go? So these are signs to watch out for when it comes to anger. Now we'll move on to the management part of it. I will be talking about some generalized things that you can try at home if you realize that you have a anger management issue or a loved one has it. You can discuss it with your loved one. Also, I will talk about one or two therapeutic tools. So the first one that I'm going to talk about when it comes to anger management, if you realize that you have an anger which is very verbal, you speak unpleasant things, and you realize that your anger is more vocal or verbal, you can start becoming mindful about what you're about to say. You can prepare your speech. You can prepare what kind of conversation you want to have. So think before you speak is your first mantra. The second one is only once you calm down through maybe breathing or taking a few deep breaths or counting a few numbers or just withholding from speaking up then and there, then you express your anger in a relatively lesser aggressive way. So automatically when you take a little bit of time off, you will not be as intense as you would be if you were that spontaneous. The next thing that I have personally seen really works in controlling one's anger issues is getting some daily exercise. Yes, this is one of the most underrated help that we have available. Just go for a run, go for a walk, do anything, do some stretches, do a few Surya Namaskars, anything. Any form of exercise daily can really take care of your anger management issues. The next is take time out. A lot of times we don't realize, we urban Indians, we juggle too many things. We have too many things on our plate. As a result, we feel very crammed. So from time to time, especially after this COVID, the life after COVID talks about taking small breaks from time to time throughout the day. Then identify a possible solution to a recurring problem. A lot of times our anger comes out because there is a recurring problem for which we don't find a solution. We are very problem focused rather than solution focused. So think of solutions. Be solution focused rather than problem focused. Then stick with an I statement. A lot of times our anger gets out of control because it's not about I am feeling like this, I have this problem, versus you have done this to me, you are this kind of a person, you, versus if we come back to I am feeling like this. Can you clarify? Can you tell me what's your take to it? So immediately situation or things change. The next one is try not to hold on to grudges. A very easy way of doing it is daily gratitude practice. When you start journaling your daily gratitude, automatically you see your grudges in life comes down. The next one is find time for some humor in life. In your daily life, daily existence, find time for some humor. Watch comedy, talk of things that make you laugh. So humor is a very important element that we need to bring into our lives. Practice relaxation techniques. Next is know when to seek help. Yes, it's very important that we know that sometimes all of this we try, we practice, and it's not working on our own. That is when we need to seek help of a therapist, and there's no shame in that. So know when your anger is getting out of hand, out of your own control, and you've tried more or less a number of things and none of it has worked. So that is when it's time to see a therapist. Today, I won't be talking about exactly the therapeutic exercises, but I want to talk to you about what therapy can help you achieve. What therapy can essentially help you achieve when it comes to anger management is you have a need. You have a need to express feelings. You have a need to express your needs. But how do you do it? Usually either in a passive or aggressive manner. But therapy teaches you how to be assertive in your expression of your needs and wants. Another thing that therapy can help you achieve is identify situations that are likely to upset you. A lot of times, people with anger management issues don't even realize that this is exactly what is causing me distress. So as a result, what happens is they're just irritable all the time, or they're irritable for the wrong reasons. The right trigger, what has caused, is something that they are not aware of. Therapy can help you achieve that. Therapy can also help you focus on problem-solving methods. Therapy can help you in controlling your impulse. Yes, there are exercises which teach impulse control to increase self-awareness, how you respond, and how you can change your response. So this is all about self-awareness. You have it in yourself, but a lot of times it's very difficult to do it by oneself. We need help, we need guidance of people who know how to go about it. So therapy can help you achieve that. Therapy can also help you in learning breathing techniques, relaxation strategies, and how to do personal reflections from time to time. Also, something that we take for granted, that is emotional awareness of our emotional life, is something that therapy can help you achieve. Therapy can help you. Certain therapeutic tools that are used are journaling, certain exercises, mindfulness practices, finding constructive hobbies, emotional reframing. These are things which a therapist can help you with. If you feel that your anger is completely out of your manageable proportion. So, who are people who should seek this therapeutic help? People who have violent anger issues, people who display bullying behavior. If you feel that you have a tendency to bully others and you're getting that feedback, definitely anger management therapy is for you. People with cognitive disorders or other mental health issues which needs emotional regulating. Individuals coping with post-traumatic stress disorders or PTSD, as we commonly know. People coping with emotional or behavioral changes due to some traumatic incident in their lives. Individuals who are experiencing some sort of addiction issues. So these are all people who could benefit from anger management therapy help. So now the last question, is anger genetic? Yes, it is to a large extent genetic, but also and our environment plays a very important role because it's a learned behavior. It's a learned response. So a lot of times we have seen children especially living in an environment where there is a lot of angry exchange, learn to be angry themselves, learn to be unmanageable with their own expression of anger. So this is all about our anger management. If you have further questions or any comments, please feel free to write in the comments below. Please give me your feedback. Do like, share, subscribe, and hope to see you with another video on another emotion. Thank you. Keep watching.